Alright, in this video we're going to take a look at some examples of writing equations into standard form. Okay, so let's start by looking at example something like y equals negative 3x plus 9. So if you remember some of the rules of standard form, we want to get x and y on the same side, so we want it to be in the form ax plus by equals c. That means that we want the x and the y terms on the same side and the constants all alone on the right side. Remember the other rules we have to be aware of. We want integer coefficients. So that means a, b, and the constant c cannot be fractions or decimals. Okay, that means A, B, and C all have to be integers. That means no fractions or decimals allowed. And the third thing we need to be aware of today is that A is positive. Okay, we want that A term, the term in the front, to be a positive number, a positive coefficient. All right? And we talked about a last rule yesterday. We're not going to practice that at all today. And the last rule, just to remember that it is a thing, is that the greatest common factor between A, B, and C must equal 1. Okay, and that's something we'll worry about in the future, but not today. We don't have to think about that today, all right? So we'll take a look at this equation that I gave you, y equals negative 3x plus 9. And if we notice, the way to get this to look like that is we need to move this 3x to the other side. Well, how do you move an entire term to the other side? We're going to add it, because negative 3x plus 3x is 0. Add 3x to the other side of the equation, because whatever we do to one side of an equal sign, we have to do the other. And then we'll have 3x. This is a positive, so plus y equals 9. And actually, this one's done. Okay, this one we just had to change the order of things. We had to get the x to the other side. We added it to the other side, and then it was in standard form. Let's take a look at a couple more examples. Okay, let's take a look at y equals 6x minus 5. Okay, so to get this one in standard form, we need to subtract 6x from both sides, right? We want to move this x to the left side. Then we can change the order of the x and the y. I'm going to put the x first. So we'd have negative 6x plus y equals negative 5. Okay, so now remember the rules. What's the only rule that this is breaking? Well, the x term, the a, and the coefficient attached to the x is a negative. That cannot happen in standard form. So in order to get rid of that negative sign, some of you are probably thinking already, we're going to divide everything by negative 1. Okay, so we divide everything by negative 1. The reason we have to divide everything is because whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Negative 6 divided by negative 1 is positive 6. Y divided by negative 1 is negative or minus y. And on the other side, negative 5 divided by negative 1. Don't forget this minus sign attached to that 5. It's negative 5. Negative divided by negative is positive 5. Okay, so this one we had to move the x to the other side, and we had to divide by negative 1 to get rid of that negative a term, that negative a coefficient attached to x. Okay, I'm going to go through two more examples here in this video for you. Let's say we have something that looks a little trickier, like y plus 6 equals 3 times x minus 1. Well, in order to start making this look like standard form, right, our goal is to make it look like ax plus by equals c. We're just trying to rewrite these equations into a specific form, a specific order with some rules. We want to make this equation look like that. We're not going to change the equation at all. We're just going to change the way it looks, right? Excuse me. So we'll start this one by distributing. Okay, we want to make it look as close to that as we can, so we need to get rid of the parentheses on this problem. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Okay, and now it's really similar to the previous example that I did for you. We need to subtract the 3x from both sides. And as we do that, we'll have negative 3x plus y plus 6 equals just negative 3. Okay, and now we want to get the constant on the other side, so let's subtract 6 from both sides, right? We want all the constant. We only want a constant to be on the right side, so we have to get rid of this plus 6. So we'll have negative 3x plus y equals negative 9. Last step, we have to get rid of that negative a term. Okay, we want to make that negative 3 into a positive 3, divide everything by negative 1. Negative 3 divided by negative 1 is positive 3x. Y divided by negative 1 is minus or negative y. And on the other side, negative 9 divided by negative 1 is positive 9. Okay, so quite a few steps on that one. But hopefully it makes sense. And last one I'm going to do for you is the one that trips the most people up a lot of times. And it's dealing with our favorite thing in the world, fractions. Okay, so let's take a look at y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. Okay, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. Well, let's get the x on the correct side first. Okay, let's add 1/2 x to both sides. Then we'll have 1/2 x. This is a positive, so it's a plus y equals, on the other side is just a 4. All right, so x and y are on the left side, the constant's on the right side. Other than that, the x is positive, right? The a value is positive 1/2, so that's good to go. But remember that other rule of standard form is we can't have fractions or decimals. A, b, and c all need to be integers. Okay, so let's think about how do we turn 1/2 into a whole number or an integer? Well, we have to multiply it by a 2. Okay, what's 2 times 1/2? If you wanted to do some side work, you can. But it's 2 over 2, right? Which is just 1. Okay, the 2's kind of cancel each other out. Okay, and we just have the 1x. You could just write x if you wanted to. But we have to multiply everything by that 2 now, okay? So we multiply by 2 to turn the 1/2 into a 1. But then because we do that, we have to multiply everything else by that 2 as well. So 2 times y would be 2y. And on the other side, 4 times 2 would be 8. Okay, so to get rid of that 2, we multiply. So we multiply by that denominator. All right, hopefully this helps. Hopefully this makes sense. If you have questions about this video or how to rewrite equations into standard form, please let me know. Have a good one.